What if the greatest faith Jesus ever praised did not come from a religious leader? What if true faith is revealed not by position or background, but by humility and trust? What if the story of the centurion is actually a mirror for our own hearts? In Luke 7:1-10, we encounter a man who surprises everyone. He is not Jewish. He is not a follower who grew up hearing the law and the prophets. He is a Roman centurion, a military officer of an occupying force. And yet, Jesus looks at him and says something extraordinary. He has not found such great faith even in Israel. This story begins quietly. The centurion has a servant who is sick and near death. This servant is not just property to him, he is deeply valued. In a time when servants were often treated as disposable, the centurion's concern already sets him apart. Compassion appears before faith is even spoken. The centurion hears about Jesus. He has likely heard stories of healing, authority, and mercy. But notice what he does next. He does not approach Jesus directly. Instead, he sends Jewish elders to speak on his behalf. This choice reveals something important. Despite his authority as a Roman officer, he approaches with humility. He understands the cultural and religious divide. He does not assume entitlement. The elders plead his case, saying that the centurion is worthy. They point to his generosity. He loves their nation. He even built their synagogue. From a human perspective, he seems deserving. But when Jesus begins to go with them, the centurion sends another message that changes everything. He says that he is not worthy for Jesus to enter his house. This moment reveals the heart of his faith. While others declare his worthiness, he declares his unworthiness. This is not false humility, it is spiritual clarity. He recognizes who Jesus is, and in that light, he understands his own position. The centurion then speaks words that still echo through history. He says that Jesus does not need to come physically. A word is enough. He explains that he understands authority. As a centurion, he gives orders and they are obeyed. Soldiers go and they go. Servants come and they come. He recognizes the same authority in Jesus, but on a far greater level. This is where faith becomes visible. The centurion does not ask for signs. He does not demand proof. He does not insist on presence. He trusts the authority of Jesus' word. He believes that distance does not limit power. Jesus is amazed. This is one of the rare moments in the Gospels where Jesus is described as being astonished, and he turns to the crowd and declares that he has not found such great faith even among those who are closest to the religious tradition. Why is this faith so remarkable? Because it is rooted in humility. The centurion does not approach Jesus with claims or demands. He approaches with reverence. He knows that authority does not need to be loud. True authority speaks, and things change. His faith is also marked by understanding. He understands that Jesus' power is not dependent on ritual or proximity. Many people believe Jesus could heal if he touched, if he came, if he performed. The centurion believes Jesus can heal simply by speaking. This challenges how we often approach God. We sometimes believe that faith requires perfect conditions, the right place, the right words, the right feelings. But this story reveals a deeper truth. Faith rests in who Jesus is, not in how close we feel to him. The centurion also understands submission. Though he holds authority, he lives under authority. This awareness shapes his faith. He knows that power flows from alignment. In recognizing Jesus' authority, he places himself in a posture of trust. There is also a quiet courage in his faith. As a Roman officer, acknowledging the authority of a Jewish teacher could be seen as risky. Yet faith often requires crossing boundaries, cultural, social, personal. The centurion is willing to cross them. Jesus honors this faith, not just with words, but with action. When the messengers return, they find the servant healed. No touch, no visible act, just a word, spoken in authority. This story invites us to examine what we believe about Jesus' authority. Do we believe his words carry power, even when we cannot see immediate results? Do we trust him when he feels distant? When answers do not come in the way we expect? The centurion teaches us that faith does not demand closeness to be confident. It does not require control to feel secure. It rests in trust. Another powerful detail is that this faith comes from someone outside the expected circle. This reminds us that God is not limited by background, history, or label. Faith can arise anywhere, in anyone, at any time. Jesus does not praise the centurion's generosity, though it is noted. He does not praise his kindness, though it is evident. He praises his faith. Faith that sees Jesus clearly. Faith that responds appropriately. Humility and faith walk together. Pride demands proof. Humility trusts authority. The centurion does not need Jesus to come to his house to feel honored. He feels honored simply by being heard. This story also reshapes how we pray. Sometimes we believe that more words equal stronger faith, but the centurion's faith is expressed in few words, yet deep trust. Prayer does not persuade God to act. Prayer aligns us with who God already is. The centurion's understanding of authority reveals something else. He does not separate Jesus' words from Jesus himself. When Jesus speaks, reality responds. This is a powerful reminder that Scripture is not just instruction, it carries authority. When God speaks, things change. For those who feel distant from God, this story offers hope. Distance does not weaken faith. The centurion never meets Jesus face to face in this story, yet his faith is called great. Faith is not about physical proximity, it is about spiritual recognition. For those who feel unworthy, this story speaks gently. The centurion calls himself unworthy, yet Jesus honors him publicly. God is not repelled by humility, he is drawn to it. For those who struggle with control, this story invites surrender. The centurion releases the outcome into Jesus' authority. He does not manage the miracle, he trusts it. Faith, as shown here, is not loud, it is not dramatic, it is calm, confident trust in who Jesus is. The crowd hears Jesus' words, but it is the centurion who understands their weight. This reminds us that hearing does not always equal believing. Faith listens deeply. This story also challenges assumptions about who God uses. The centurion is not an insider, yet he becomes an example. God often surprises us by revealing faith where we least expect it. As we reflect on this passage, we are invited to ask ourselves honest questions. Do we trust Jesus' authority over our circumstances? Do we believe his word is enough? Do we approach him with humility or entitlement? Faith grows when we see Jesus clearly. When we recognize his authority, our fears begin to loosen. Our need to control begins to fade. The centurion never sees the miracle happen. He hears about it afterward. Faith often requires trusting before seeing. This kind of faith is not passive, it is active trust. Jesus' response shows that he delights in faith that understands who he is. Faith that does not demand signs, but rests in truth. This story is not about a single healing. It is about a relationship of trust between human humility and divine authority. In a world that values control, this story invites trust. In a culture that celebrates self-sufficiency, it invites surrender. The centurion teaches us that great faith does not begin with confidence in ourselves, but confidence in Jesus. Thank you for watching this video on Holy Path Insights. If this message encouraged you or deepened your understanding of faith, please like the video, share it with someone who may need it, and follow the channel for more reflections on Scripture and spiritual life. May your faith grow in humility, trust, and confidence in the authority of Christ.